Welcome to visit my channel, World Tour Vlog. Please like, subscribe, and share to support my channel, World Tour Vlog. Thanks a lot for supporting my channel.
The edge of the world. At the very edge of the inhabitable world, far beyond forests, highways, and familiar cities, there exists a place where nature still dictates the rules of human life. A place where the sun does not rise for months, where darkness becomes a season, and survival is shaped not by convenience, but by resilience.
The last one.
This place is Longyearbyen, Norway.
Happy New Year, everyone!
Located deep inside the Arctic Circle at 78 degrees north latitude, it is one of the northernmost permanent settlements on Earth. To reach it, you must fly over endless oceans, frozen fjords, and barren mountains. There are no roads connecting it to the rest of the world, no highways leading out. Only sky and ice. And every year, as autumn fades, Longyearbyen prepares for something most of humanity will never experience, the disappearance of the sun. Where the world feels small. Longyearbyen is not a large town. With a population of just over 2,000 people, it feels more like a village. Colorful wooden houses cling to the sides of a wide valley, surrounded by jagged mountains and ancient glaciers that seem frozen in time. In summer, the sun never sets. It circles endlessly above the horizon, bathing the land in constant daylight. But this endless light is only half the story. When summer ends, the sun begins its slow retreat. The slow farewell. In early October, the change is subtle. The sun still rises, but it no longer climbs high into the sky. Instead, it lingers low, casting long shadows across the snow-dusted ground. The light feels weaker, paler, like a memory struggling to remain. Locals notice it immediately. Cameras are brought out earlier in the day. Walks are taken more slowly. People pause longer to look at the sky, fully aware of what is coming. Each day, the sun sets a little earlier and rises a little later. Autumn in Longyearbyen is not marked by falling leaves, but by falling light. By late October, the town prepares for a moment of deep emotional significance, the final sunset. The last light.
I'll get there first.
On the day of the last sunset, Longyearbyen moves differently. People leave their homes and climb nearby hills, bundled in thick winter clothing. Families stand shoulder to shoulder. Children are lifted onto backs and shoulders for a better view. Even lifelong residents never take this moment for granted. As the sun touches the mountain ridge, the sky explodes in color, deep orange, burning red, and soft gold.
In town when the blizzard
The frozen landscape reflects the light faintly, as if trying to hold on to it. Some people cheer, others grow quiet. Slowly, the sun disappears, and with it, daylight leaves Longyearbyen. The beginning of the polar night. What follows is not immediate darkness. Longyearbyen enters a surreal phase of deep blue twilight. For several weeks, the sky glows with an otherworldly light, a permanent dusk that feels unreal, almost dreamlike. Mountains become dark silhouettes. Snow reflects a cold blue shimmer. The world feels suspended between day and night. This is the official beginning of the polar night, a phenomenon unique to regions far above the Arctic Circle where Earth's tilt prevents sunlight from reaching the horizon for months. By November, the twilight fades, and true darkness takes over. Cold that changes everything. With darkness comes extreme cold. Temperatures plunge quickly, often reaching -20 degrees Celsius or lower. Winds rush through the valley, cutting through clothing and skin alike. The cold is not just uncomfortable, it is dangerous. Snow falls relentlessly, covering roads, rooftops, stairways, and signs. The world becomes quieter, softer, and more isolated. Yet despite this, Longyearbyen does not shut down. It adapts. Life without the sun. As darkness deepens, artificial light becomes the town's heartbeat. Streetlights glow softly, creating pools of warmth in the blackness. Windows shine yellow, signaling life inside. The crunch of boots on snow replaces the sound of traffic. Children still wake up for school despite never seeing daylight. Teachers greet them with smiles and structure. Routine becomes essential. Shops open on time. Offices function as usual. Cafes become social lifelines, filled with laughter, conversation, and steaming mugs of coffee. In Longyearbyen, darkness is not feared, it is respected. The human mind versus endless night. Even the strongest routines cannot fully protect the human mind. The human body is designed around sunlight, which regulates sleep, mood, and hormones. Remove it, and the consequences are real. Residents face disrupted sleep cycles, fatigue, anxiety, and seasonal depression. Some feel an overwhelming sense of heaviness. Others struggle with motivation. To fight back, the town uses powerful tools. Homes and offices employ high-intensity daylight lamps that mimic the sun. Vitamin D supplements become essential. Strict schedules are followed to keep internal clocks aligned. But more important than technology is human connection. People make a conscious effort to meet, talk, and gather, understanding that isolation is dangerous. In Longyearbyen, community is survival. A town built on trust. Unlike most places, Longyearbyen operates on a strong sense of shared responsibility.
Careful where
Crime
you
is
step.
extremely
It's
low.
breathtaking, isn't it?
Doors are often left unlocked. People look out for one another, because help may not arrive quickly in this remote land. Darkness creates vulnerability, but it also creates unity. Everyone knows they depend on each other. Beyond the streetlights, the greatest dangers of Longyearbyen do not lie within the town, they lie beyond it. Outside the safety of
If the snow
streetlights
gets any
stretches an
deeper,
endless
we're
Arctic
officially
wilderness,
snowed in until
silent,
spring.
vast, and unforgiving.
I
It is
hope you
not
brought
empty.
enough marshmallows for everyone,
Svalbard is
old
home to
man.
more polar
To
bears than
warmth
people.
and friendship.
These
Cheers,
massive
everyone.
predators roam freely across ice and mountains. They are powerful, intelligent, and curious, and they see humans not as neighbors but as potential prey. For this reason, no one is allowed to leave town unprotected. Anyone venturing beyond the settlement must carry a rifle, not as a symbol, but as a necessity. Snowmobiles replace cars, gliding across frozen terrain where roads do not exist. Every journey is carefully planned, weather is checked, routes are mapped, and safety protocols are followed without exception. Out here, one mistake can be fatal. Beauty in the darkness. Yet despite the danger, cold, and darkness, the polar night offers something extraordinary. When the sky clears and the wind calms, darkness becomes a canvas. Across it dances the aurora borealis. Waves of green, purple, and blue light ripple silently across the sky, stretching from horizon to horizon. The aurora moves like a living thing, twisting, pulsing, breathing. People step outside, forgetting the cold. They stand still, their breath turning to ice in the air, eyes fixed upward. For many, this moment alone makes the long night worth enduring. Time without the sun. As weeks turn into months, time begins to feel different. Without sunrise or sunset, days lose natural boundaries. Morning and night become concepts defined by clocks, not light.
Look how
Some people
big
thrive in
mine
this
is
calm,
getting.
introspective environment.
This is so much
Others struggle
fun.
deeply.
Look at all the snow.
But everyone learns the same lesson. Survival in Longyearbyen is about resilience, connection, and creating light even when the sun disappears. Underscore 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 underscore. As the polar night settles fully over Longyearbyen, darkness stops feeling temporary and begins to feel like a permanent condition of life. In most parts of the world, night is simply a pause between 2 days, but here it becomes a world of its own. Weeks pass without a single sunrise, and the sky remains dark at all hours, sometimes deep black, sometimes faintly blue. The sun slowly turns into a memory rather than a presence, something people talk about instead of see. This is when the Real challenge begins, because surviving the polar night is not just about enduring extreme cold, it is about mastering the human mind. Mornings in Longyearbyen no longer begin with sunlight slipping through windows. They begin with alarms, artificial light, and strict self-discipline. People wake up in darkness, eat breakfast in darkness, and walk to work under glowing streetlights that never turn off. Children go to school wearing reflective clothing so they remain visible in the dark. Teachers follow fixed schedules, knowing that routine is critical for young minds growing up without daylight. Adults do the same. Work hours are respected, meals are timed carefully, and sleep becomes something to protect deliberately. In Longyearbyen, routine is not boring or mechanical, it is a survival tool. As the weeks stretch on, the psychological weight of endless night becomes real.
Hey, watch out!
The human body is not designed to live without
got
sunlight,
you.
and the absence begins to affect sleep,
It's
mood,
snowing
and energy.
harder now.
Melatonin levels shift,
how
confusing the
big
body's
they
sense
are.
of time. Some
I
people
caught
struggle
one
to
on my
sleep, while
tongue.
others feel tired
It's
all
so
the time.
cold.
Motivation fades, and even simple tasks can feel heavy. Seasonal depression is taken seriously here, openly discussed without shame. Seeking help is normal, because everyone understands that silence and isolation can be dangerous during the polar night. To fight back, residents use every tool available. Homes,
Wow,
offices,
look how
gyms,
big
and
the
schools are filled with
snowflakes are
powerful
now.
daylight lamps designed
It's
to imitate the sun.
beautiful, like
These
a
lights are
winter
used intentionally during
wonderland.
certain hours to
And then
reset
he
the
just
body's
stood
internal
there,
clock.
absolutely covered
Vitamin
in
D
snow.
supplements are a daily necessity,
That is
not a
the
luxury.
funniest thing I
Without
have
them,
heard
the body
all
weakens.
week.
Yet even with technology, something essential is still missing, and that is why human connection becomes the most powerful source of warmth. People in Longyearbyen make deliberate efforts to stay connected. Community dinners, shared movie nights, concerts, and small gatherings are not just social activities, they are emotional lifelines. Cafes become places of refuge where people sit longer than usual, talking, laughing, and sharing warmth. Neighbors check on one another quietly. If someone disappears from their routine, it is noticed. In this town, people depend on each other in ways that are rare elsewhere.
Woohoo, this
No
is
one survives the
awesome.
polar night alone. Life in Longyearbyen is shaped
Faster,
entirely
faster.
by its
Yeah,
environment,
hold on.
and that has created rules found nowhere else in the world. One of the most surprising is that people are not buried here.
Yeah!
Because the ground is permanently frozen, bodies do not decompose. In the past, remains have been found preserved in the permafrost, still carrying diseases. For this reason, anyone nearing the end of life must leave the island.
Stop, my cheeks
Even death
hurt
must
from
adapt to the
laughing
Arctic.
so much.
It is a quiet but powerful
Mine
reminder
too.
that nature always has the
You always
final
tell
say
the best
here.
stories.
Within the town limits, life
You
feels
are
safe and orderly,
absolutely
but
terrible
that sense
at
of security
charades.
ends the moment you step
Hey,
beyond the last
I
streetlight.
thought I was doing great.
Outside
until you
lies a
started
vast,
laughing.
silent wilderness of ice and snow, stretching endlessly in every direction. Temperatures drop even lower, winds grow stronger, and visibility can vanish in seconds during a storm. And then there are the polar bears. Svalbard is one of the few places on Earth where humans are not the dominant species. Polar bears roam freely across the land and sea ice. They are intelligent, powerful, and unpredictable. They can smell prey from kilometers away and outrun humans on snow. Because of this, anyone leaving town must carry a rifle, not as a symbol of bravery, but as a necessity. Despite the danger, people venture out into the darkness. Not because they are reckless, but because living here demands courage. Snowmobiles replace cars, racing across frozen fjords under star-filled skies. Headlights cut through the blackness, revealing nothing but snow and shadow. The sound of engines echoes across the ice, reminding travelers how small they are in this vast land. Ice caves glow faint blue inside, carved by glaciers that are thousands of years old. Frozen waterfalls stand motionless, suspended in time. Adventure here is raw and unforgiving, stripped of comfort and certainty. Then, on clear nights, the darkness reveals its greatest gift. The aurora borealis appears without warning, spreading waves of green, purple, and blue light across the sky.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
The aurora moves like a living thing, silent and powerful, stretching from horizon to horizon. People step outside no matter how cold it is. They stop talking. They simply look up. Breath freezes in the air, cameras click, and time seems to pause. For many residents, these moments make the long months of darkness worth enduring. It feels as if nature itself is offering reassurance, reminding them that beauty still exists even in the deepest night. As December turns into January, time itself begins to feel different. Without sunrise or sunset, days lose their natural boundaries. Weeks blur together. People rely completely on clocks and calendars. Holidays become emotional anchors, and Christmas lights glow brightly not just for celebration, but as a defense against the darkness.
Look how fast
Sleep
it's
schedules
moving
shift.
now.
Some people become more active at night, while others cling desperately to
It's
strict
absolutely
routines.
breathtaking.
There is no single way to
beautiful
survive
out
the
here
polar
tonight.
night.
It really is.
Each person must find their own balance
glad we
between
came out.
discipline and rest. Living without the sun changes people. The polar night strips life down to its essentials. Without daylight distractions, people are forced to face themselves, their fears, their limits, and their inner
absolutely
strength.
breathtaking tonight.
Some leave after one winter, realizing the
I could
Arctic
watch
is not
this
for them.
forever.
Others stay, transformed by the experience. The darkness teaches humility, patience, and respect. In Longyearbyen, survival is not about conquering nature. It is about learning to live alongside it. By late January, something subtle begins to shift. The darkness is still there, but it feels lighter, thinner. The sky holds a
The
hint
little
of
rabbit
change.
sniffed the air,
People begin checking
wondering
the
where
horizon
sweet
more often,
scent was
even though
coming
there is
from.
still no sun to see.
Was it over here?
There is
by
a
the
quiet
tall
sense of anticipation in the air. Everyone knows the truth. The sun is coming back. And the waiting begins. As February
This is
approaches,
exactly
the
what I
people of
needed.
Longyearbyen begin to feel a
Keeps the
quiet
cold out.
shift deep inside themselves, even though the sun is still absent from the sky.
It's beautiful out here, though.
The darkness has not ended, but it no
finally
longer
back!
feels endless. There is a
it
growing
feels so
awareness that the polar night is
wonderful.
reaching its final stage.
Look at the snow
Conversations
sparkle.
change slightly. People speak about dates more often. Calendars are checked again and again. The question is no longer how long the darkness will last, but how it will feel when the light finally returns. During this period, anticipation becomes both comforting and painful. Comforting because hope is close, painful because waiting tests patience more than suffering ever did. The body and mind, after months of adaptation, have settled into the rhythm of darkness. Sleep cycles, routines, and emotions have adjusted to a sunless world. Now, they must prepare to change once again. In Longyearbyen, survival is not only about
And
enduring
so the little
extremes,
bear
but about
wandered
constantly
deep
adapting
into
to
the
change.
woods, searching for
Daily
the
life
sweetest
continues with
berries he
discipline.
could find.
People still wake up in darkness and go to sleep in darkness. Streetlights glow softly against the snow-covered ground, and homes remain warm islands in a frozen sea.
You're doing wonderful
Outside,
work,
the
everyone.
temperature still bites,
Keep it
winds
up.
still cut through
Remember
layers
to
of
use
clothing,
your
and
highlighters
the
for
Arctic
the key
remains
points.
unforgiving. Yet there is a noticeable softness in people's expressions. Smiles appear more easily. Laughter lasts a little longer. The promise of sunlight, even unseen, lifts spirits. Then comes the day everyone has been waiting for. Not the return of the sun itself, but Sunday. On this day, the sun does not rise above the horizon, but its presence is felt for the first time in months. People gather on the slopes of nearby hills, facing the southern horizon. They stand quietly, wrapped in thick coats, scarves pulled tight against the cold.
These snowmen look
Cameras are ready,
amazing.
but many people choose to simply watch. At exactly the right moment, a thin golden glow touches the mountaintops. The sun is still hidden, but its light spills over the peaks like a promise kept. Some people cheer. Others cry. For many, it is an emotional release that words cannot explain. This moment marks the true end of the polar night. It is not dramatic or loud. It is gentle, subtle, and deeply personal. After months of darkness, even the smallest amount of light feels overwhelming. The sun's return is not just a natural event here, it is a victory shared by everyone who stayed,
Wow,
endured,
look at them
and
all. They're
survived.
like little stars.
In the days that follow,
They
the light
are.
grows stronger.
Makes the city look
Each
magical.
day brings a few more minutes of brightness. Shadows return slowly. Colors become clearer. Snow reflects light instead of swallowing it. The town begins to feel different, as if it is waking from a long sleep. People spend more time outside. Children play longer. The streets feel more alive.
This is so much
Yet the
fun.
polar night leaves its mark.
Faster, faster.
Those who live through it are
faster.
changed by the experience.
Wait for me.
They learn patience, resilience, and respect for nature in its purest form. They learn the importance of community, routine, and mental strength. They understand how fragile human comfort
Look at
truly
that
is,
sun,
and how
it's
powerful the human spirit
beautiful.
can be when tested.
It
Longyearbyen
feels
is not a
so
place for everyone.
warm.
It's
It
wonderful,
demands
isn't it?
sacrifice, courage,
That's a great
and humility.
question. Who can tell us the
But
answer?
for those who call it
I
home,
know.
the polar night
is
becomes
it
a
the
teacher.
capital of Peru?
It strips life down to its essentials and shows what truly matters when comfort disappears. Light becomes precious. Warmth becomes meaningful. Human connection becomes vital.
Look right there.
As the sun
That's where
slowly
the
climbs higher in the
snowflakes
weeks
come
ahead,
from,
Longyearbyen will
covering the
move toward the
whole
endless
forest
daylight of
in
summer,
white.
when the sun never sets. But the memory of the long night will remain. It always does. Because once you have lived without the sun, you never take its presence for granted again. And in this Arctic town at the edge of the world, darkness and light are not enemies, they are partners in a cycle that defines life itself.